All right, let me start with the situation in the Gaza Strip as the Israeli ground offensive now seems to be moving into some sort of top gear. And I know we are spending a lot of time on the India story, looking at what's happening between Israel and Gaza, but it's important that we actually do so. One, of course, there's the humanitarian impact of all that has happened there, the terror attacks, brutal as they were. Now the humanitarian catastrophe that's happening in Gaza, images like this are very much dominant and should be dominant in all of our minds. But also, when it comes to India and the India story, there's a very important reason why whatever unfolds there is going to be of critical importance. Let's take a look at India's strategic ambitions for many years. They've had a lot to do with the Middle East. Remember, China has been building out that BRI and talking about its own connectivity with the rest of the world. For India, a lot of the strategic paths to the world have gone through the Middle East. Remember IMEC, there was so much being spoken about that just a short while back. There was a hope that there would be a corridor running from Saudi Arabia, UAE, of course, a close ally of India, going into Israel, perhaps going on to Europe. All of that is under some question now, and it will be more under question if this sort of death and devastation and havoc continues to unfold in the Middle East. So today on the India story, we're going to be broadening our focus a little bit. What's happening right now? Yes, but what's likely to happen in the middle term? Is there likely to be peace? What will that peace be? And how should all of this affect India and Indian policy towards the world? So we've got a range of experts taking us through various aspects of this very complex dynamic. And I'm going to start with the Palestinian ambassador to India. Last week we were speaking to the Israeli ambassador of India. Now we're being joined by the Palestinian ambassador to India. Your Excellency, thank you so much for joining us. Just wanted to hear from you, what is the latest that you're hearing on the humanitarian situation inside Gaza, and also on how the Israeli offensive on Hamas is actually poised right now?
Let me say that you can imagine 28 days without water, without electricity, without medicine, without fuel, without oxygen. So the situation is horrible in Gaza Strip. We have lost up to now 9,000 have been more than 9,000 have been registered, and there is 2,000 under the building debris. There is more than 25,000 injured. On Wednesday there was 3 massacres, one in Jabalia. Maybe you have noticed that, how many people have been killed. Another one in Liberage refugee camp, and another one in the same day in Ashati refugee camp. Yesterday there was another massacre in Jabalia refugee camp also.
Right.
So,
Your Excellency, we know that the Israeli ground forces are there in Gaza, and the Israelis are clear that they're not going to stop until Hamas is actually destroyed. What are you being able to pick up from your sources? How strong is Hamas in there, and do you think this it'll be possible for the Israeli ground forces to defeat Hamas in a short period of time?
Let's say that Hamas is not just a man and a gun. Hamas is an idea. Hamas is ideology. So Hamas is not those few people who are having their gun. I think for the Israelis, it's very difficult. According to their officers, we are looking for ceasefire. We don't know. We don't want that war to be continued. We want to live in peace. We want the international community to work hard for the two-state solution, for peaceful political peaceful solution, and to end all these crises. I think both the Israelis and the Palestinians have fed up of war.
I just wanted to ask you that question then, because, you know, once whatever unfolds in the Gaza Strip, let's say Israel is able to crush the Hamas, fighting machinery in the tunnels and the rest of it, a lot of people are wondering what comes next. And do you think it is possible that once the fighting ends, there will actually be international pressure to move towards a long-term solution, an end to the settlements, a two-state solution, some formula by which a lasting peace can come?
If it comes to this extreme government, they want to evacuate our people from West Bank to Egypt, from Gaza Strip to Egypt, and from West Bank to Jordan. So they don't ever thought about peace. Since we have signed Oslo Accord, they are destroying, killing this accord when they killed Mr. Ishaq Rabin. Those extreme government who killed Ishaq Rabin, those extreme settlers who killed Ishaq Rabin. And since that time, they are destroying the two-state solution via confiscating land, building settlements every day, killing people, jailing people. We have heard more than one time Mr. Netanyahu when he said that he will make the life as a hell till they leave the land. We are not leaving the land.
I just wanted to ask you a question. Let us say there is the end to Hamas. A lot of the Israelis, there's a lot of people wondering what will happen to fill the vacuum that will be there. I'm not sure whether Israel wants to continue to occupy the Gaza Strip directly. The international community is clearly saying they should not do that. They need to withdraw. Somebody will have to take that place, fill up the vacuum left by Hamas, assuming Hamas is destroyed. Do you think the Palestinian Authority would be willing to go into Gaza and say, okay, we will run it?
Sure not. Sure not. We have only one thing. With Hamas itself, we should find a peaceful solution, right, and go by the pressure of the international community to implement Israel to come to the two-state solution according to the international law and international resolutions from the United Nations. After that, election will be in Palestine, and we will live in peace with the Israelis.
But Your Excellency, Israel says Hamas is responsible for one of the worst terror attacks in living memory. 1,300, 1,400 Israelis died. Israel is obviously not wanting to talk to or negotiate with Hamas right now. So is there any way that negotiations can happen without Hamas on the table?
Let me say, first of all, who is the terrorist is the occupation itself. And how many one have killed just with the last 20 years old. Those terrorists who consider Hamas a terrorist organization now, right? Hamas, at least they are fighting for liberation. They have been sieged for 17 years. The life of the people with 70 poverty in Gaza Strip. They can't move from Gaza Strip anywhere. The staff of my embassy, they are from Gaza. They can't go to Gaza because they're afraid they can't come back to India. All the students, Palestinian students, during the COVID, no one leave India to Gaza because they thought that they can't come back to India to continue their studies. This was the life of our people in Gaza. So the terrorist is the occupation itself. Move the occupation, find a peaceful solution. Hamas will be there as a political party, and all the Palestinian people.
Hamas was there as a political party till it went across and killed 1,300 people. So in a sense, by carrying out that act of terror, Hamas has lost itself the right to be there on any negotiating table. Wouldn't you agree with that view? I mean, wouldn't you condemn the terror attack that happened on the 7th of October? Why you
insist about that? Why you insist while thousands, you remember how many thousand Israelis killed in Gaza in 2008 and in 2014 and 2012, 2021, and this time. Why Hamas is terrorist? Why the Israelis are democratic country? They are, look, to me, I compare Gaza Strip as Leningrad and the Nazist army who is sieging Gaza Strip. These crimes, it's exactly or more than the Nazist army has been done during the Second World War. So why we insist Hamas is a terrorist? The terrorist is the occupation. In the occupation, there is no Fatah, no PLO, no, that it will be Palestine state, and we will live in peace. Those from 1948 have committed more than 56 massacres, thousands of the Palestinian people, thousands in the prisons, confiscating land every day, uprooting our trees every day, demolishing our houses every day, killing our children every day. Do you know before 7th of September, the Israelis killed 260 people from the beginning of this year. From 7th of November till now, they have killed 140 people. I'm talking about West Bank, not in Gaza.
All right. Your Excellency, just wanted to ask you one last question on the question of the humanitarian situation in Gaza. A lot of people across the world are obviously wanting to help in some manner. They're seeing the suffering inside Gaza. They're wanting to help. What practical help do you think the world community can do? Obviously, the political situation, the political questions are beyond most people's ability to actually be able to help and assist. What can people do to help the people of Gaza right now who are suffering, the innocent people?
The innocent people, who call them democratic countries all around the world, including the United States, should make a pressure at the Israelis, because we have thousands of tons of humanitarian aid in Egypt now. Do you know Gaza Strip normally before 7th of October, there was every day to supply Gaza, there was 500 trucks every day. From 21st of October till now, there was till yesterday 340 trucks. Do you know what that means? The water entered to the people in Gaza is 50 millimeter of water for each one in Gaza, while 10 kg of explosive have been thrown to the for each one in Gaza, according to the Euro-Mediterranean Human Rights Monitor.
Your Excellency, your message is loud and clear. Thank you so much. His Excellency Adnan Abu Alhaija, the Palestinian Ambassador to India. Thank you so much for joining us with that perspective.
Thank you, Mr. Vakram. Thank you.
Thank you.